Hey guys, and welcome. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, and you are listening or watching IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy you've joined me. It is the first, well, not the first of chance, but it is the 1st of July. So thanks for popping in. If you're new here, you're going to notice a QR code on the screen. Just go ahead and grab your smartphone and launch the camera app, point over the QR code like so. Touch the yellow lips. You'll get my link tree in just a couple seconds on your phone. If you're watching us, well, then go to believemeachieve.com for all of my great information. All right. So definitely want to thank you for being here. Whether you choose to watch us at 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight, 4 a.m., 4 p.m., or whenever you watch, thank you so much for making Inspiration of Your Life a daily part of your day. All right. Let's get into this. This is a really great one, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how to break out of your shell. Oh, yes. This is definitely one I think that's going to, how can I say, really excite you. Because you see, if life starts from one phase and ends with another, so if an egg is present and it breaks from the inside out, life begins. If it breaks from the outside in, life ends. So why is that? It's because the creature in the egg is not ready or strong enough to break out yet, but it still needs to learn and be able to do things so that it can survive, in the wild out there. And if you knock into the egg and you break into it, well, then you're going to potentially get that creature out into the universe earlier than it wants to be, and it's not ready for that. So our whole show this week, starting with Saturday and rolling all the way through the week and finishing up on next Friday's how to break out of your shell. I think some people get a little bit flustered on how you break out of a shell. It's different than breaking out of an egg, but it is a delicate process. But if you never break out of your shell, then you're never going to be able to grow. That's right, you're never going to be able to grow. You will never, ever be able to grow. And so, why is that so important? I think it's important because people want to just break that egg open, right? But they're not necessarily ready for what the egg needs or what you need. A lot of times you want to break forward and do something in your life, but the chances that you're ready may not always be so great. So you have to do it in divine timing. That doesn't mean take 100 years to get to what you're doing, but there does have to be a little bit of a plan. So when we think about a plan and we think about how to break out into the world, because you might be shy, you might be timid. And so if that's the case, if you don't break out of your shell, then number one, people are never going to see you. Okay. Number two, you're never going to get confidence. And you see, if you don't have confidence, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to just want to put your head into your body like a ball and just crawl up and be like, oh, I can't do this. Because maybe you just didn't have enough confidence to break free when all you needed to do was to just trust a little bit in the world. Trust a little bit in the world. How does that work? Well, I think when we understand what the world is, then maybe something can work for you, right? But what does that mean? I think it comes down to who you are and what it is that you're trying to do. If you don't get this, if you don't understand this, then it could be a very, very big problem. Okay. It could be a very big problem. And so, if you don't know how to break free, if you don't know how to get out into the world, if you don't know how to get your message out there, how are people ever going to be able to hear or see what you have to say? I think we're always worrying about everything having to be perfect, right? And you've heard the adage before. I've said you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So if you're not great, it's okay. But, start, you know, do something and then work on getting better. So many people I talk to say, you know what, I'd love to do this, but I'm not ready yet. You're not ready, or is it a fear? Because there's not being ready physically and emotionally, but then there's also not being ready as a fear. So we talked a little bit about that chicken and the egg, right? And so if the egg breaks from the inside out, it becomes a miracle because we have life. If the break happens from the outside in, then life ends. Have you ever tried to do something in life and you just couldn't get anywhere? Maybe you were trying to become a writer and you just couldn't get out of your shell to write. What do you have to do? Maybe you need to look at some other people. How did they start? Maybe you need to get some training, right? So, what is it going to take to build your self confidence? Is that going to be training? Is that going to be just experience, right? What's it going to be? And it's different for a lot of people. So, if you don't understand what's going to make you get to that next level, then how are you ever going to reach it, right? I think that's the biggest problem. And so, if we can't reach where we want to go, we're actually going to go into a ball, crawl up, and be devastated and depressed because we can't unfurl like a peacock, right? We're not able to spread our wings and be proud. So all it takes is some confidence. And you might say, John, how do I develop confidence? That might be what you're saying. How do I develop confidence? Well, it's really simple. Let's say you want to get out of your shell to, I don't know, become somebody who is more spontaneous. You might be spontaneous, but you might be afraid to exhibit those characteristics because of what you think other people are going to say about you. So the first thing you have to do is just say the heck with what everybody else has to say. Okay. The only person that really matters is you, is me. So if somebody doesn't like what I'm doing, tough. I always say, as long as you're not harming, hurting, or disparaging, or chastising the person, you could do what you want. But a lot of people need to get approval, right? They need approval from their friends, approval from society. Why? Like, what does society have to do that you can't do? And maybe society gives you an approval. Okay, so what? They give you an approval. Now, once you get that approval, what do? Are you waiting for an approval your whole life every time you have to do something? Or are you able to stand on your 2 feet and be proud, like that peacock that unfurls, its beautiful feathers? If we understand that to break out of our shell, we need to develop confidence. We need to develop confidence. It's not just we should, we have to. If we don't develop confidence, then we're going to be like, or like, really getting tongue tied. And you might be getting embarrassed because you don't know what to do. So there is some practice that you need to do. And once you practice, then things are going to become easier for you, right? They always say the journey of a million miles may not be easy, but it starts with the first step. So we can't end a million-mile journey if we never take the first step. We can't break out of our shell if we don't lift the finger, if we don't take the first step. That bird inside that egg will never be able to break out of its shell if it doesn't start to peck from the inside of the egg. And it might take that bird a while. So let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. How long does it a bird to break out of a shell? How long do you think it takes? Basically, we call it a chick, right? Um, they peck very softly at the shell while rotating. Makes a huge difference, ladies and gentlemen. It makes a huge difference. So it's actually trying to weaken the structure. So if you're not sure how to break free, maybe you need to try a few different things so you become more comfortable. So you get more confidence. So the chick takes about 2 days and it goes around the egg, as we just mentioned, and it goes around that egg counterclockwise, just creating very small, tiny little fractures around. And what happens is as the chick goes all the way around, the egg gets weaker and eventually it's not able to hold that strong dome altogether, and it just cracks. One part of it just weakens and it cracks. Now, you might be saying, John, how do we compare this to life? So, sometimes we can't break out of our shell ourselves. Maybe it takes friends. Maybe it takes other professional help. Maybe it takes us doing more than one thing, right? Like, for example, if you want to become a great athlete, is it enough if you're playing baseball to just run every day to be a good baseball player? No. Is it enough to just throw ball every day? No. Is it enough to just bat? No. So you have to do different things on a continuous basis so that you will weaken, okay, your frustration and breakthrough. So a little bit different than the egg, right? So the chick goes around the egg counterclockwise, and by it weakening that structure of the egg, and the egg starts to break, the bird's chick's self confidence grows. And as you start to do more things and you start to attack it from many different angles, your confidence grows as you start to see what's happening in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been a privilege, a pleasure, and an amazing honor to be with you again this fantastic July 1st. Wow, July 1st. Tomorrow is July 2nd. We have a lot of great stuff to share with you, but there's a lot we're going to talk about, and that is how we're going to build confidence. So I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to definitely like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. Go to my YouTube channel, John Space C Space MRLAY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase to help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my tea tonight, a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or perhaps a savory dessert plate. Either way, we'll be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to get the best out of life. I hope you guys have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Be well.